A really, really nice strike. Just living on down in that kind of groove 3, groove 4 territory with this. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So, a little wedge review tonight, Michael.
Love a wedge.
Yes, the Ping S159 line came out to replace the Glide line that we had grown so fond of. We'd known those for a long, long time, and actually was a great option for us in the bay. A little bit more of a cavity back option, maybe if someone wasn't kind of in the blade, and obviously we know Vokey dominates that market so much.
Yeah.
You know, the Ping was such a great option, but Ping have went head to head. They've just went ahead and taken all the great attributes of Glide, put it into that really tour-inspired package, really small, desirable head, cleaned the lines up, and they've brought out this lovely new line of wedges.
Yeah.
Thoughts on them so far?
I think going to that more tour-inspired shape, you'll start to see Ping wedges in more mixed bags.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Ping are obviously going to stay true to their core as a company driven by innovation and obviously the ability to fit it. That's what they're all about. These options obviously have that in there, but I think probably they were over on one side of the market with a kind of cavity back wedge, thinking, well, we're pouring forgiveness and all these things, and everybody keeps gravitating over there towards the blades. Why not just go play over there? And that's smart, isn't it? So, you know, but we are still seeing some significant design characteristics of these wedges that is true to the core of a Ping.
Yeah, and they add a bunch of bounce and grind options as well. They're not just, you know, a stock option, which is nice. So gives us a little bit more room for custom fitting.
And we'll focus a little bit more on those options in this test. Obviously, thinking the gap wedge, we'll start with the S. Then we'll start getting into a little bit more of the H and the B. You know, some of the new grinds that obviously we know that are in there. Some new shapes. Talk to you guys about them. Who might be suited to the new shapes, and obviously the existing wedge grinds as well.
Love it.
All right, let's start with the gap wedge. Sounded good.
A better strike.
There he is. Take a picture, folks. 0-0. Very good, Mikey. Very good. Initial thoughts on the feel?
They feel great. They're not as clicky as, like, I found Glides clicky. I think, you know, with the cavity in the back, I think maybe a lot of people did, but these feel solid. They sound good. I like them.
Thoughts on the new shape? What do you think? Sort of the leading edge, being straightened out, sort of cleaned up, a little bit smaller package.
Yeah, it's definitely that tour shape, but I think in order to, you know, grow that demographic of who's going to use these wedges, and like you said earlier, there's other companies that don't have a forgiving wedge, and thousands of people use them, so it's not intimidating whatsoever. It just looks super clean.
All right, Mikey boy, so first opportunity to test one of the new grinds, 54H, half moon, lots of options to open the face, raise the handle, have the toe down, gives us lots of versatility.
Cool.
I picked this one for you because looking at your angle attack, you are a little bit on the steeper side right now.
Yep.
That's, you know, there's obviously the new H and the new B grinds. B's a little bit more for the shallow player, and we might try that in the 60 where maybe you're playing some more delicate shots. But while we're still playing a lot of full shots, I think the H for you is something that would give you lots of options.
Cool, 10 degrees of bounce.
Yeah, so it's not a high bounce by any means. You know, I think 14, that's kind of deemed high. More sort of, you know, the 8s and 10s are in the kind of mid bounce territory.
Okay, cool. And the H grind was their most popular request from their WRX department?
Custom line, yep. Good.
Yeah, better strike.
A little bit low, but yeah, leaning the shaft about 10 degrees and a little bit steep. So that's sort of the first two key indicators of how we're picking the sole
Right.
for someone. Obviously, the third variable being what's the turf conditions that they play in.
Definitely.
So you play in a variety, which is why something like the H grind would give you great options.
Right. Gives you both heel and toe relief, and then good for different turf.
Yeah, and also if you had to get into the bunker with it, I think the sole design would be fantastic. Lower the handle, really try and kind of cut the legs from under one.
Definitely.
I think this sole would be really, really good for that.
Cool.
All right, Mikey, we're going to hit some of the 56. Not so much because I wanted you to hit the 56. I know you've tried the S-Grind 12 bounce before.
Yeah.
But I want to get your thoughts on the new Midnight finish.
It looks, behind the ball, the darker finish I like more than the Tour Chrome.
Interesting.
And I'm not a fan of darker finishes in golf clubs. So this is, yeah, it's really, really nice.
A winner for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see a few. Nice.
Not bad.
One of the things I'm always keen to ask people when it comes to the darker finishes, does the feel change?
No. I don't think it's gotten any harder, any firmer. It feels exactly the same.
Good. So I think, really that was the main thing I wanted to sort of establish there for you, how that felt. As we kind of look through the grinds, we've got 56S, obviously 54H.
Yep.
Start to see the spin go,
over 10.
Quite high.
Yeah.
You're not a high spin player.
No, I know.
That's quite impressive if you need more spin, right?
It's interesting through the turf, and I know we're hitting it through artificial turf or whatever, but the strikes felt more comfortable with the 12S than it did with the H.
From a explanation of bounce and the purpose of bounce, here we've obviously got less bounce and a lower lofted club launching higher than a higher lofted club. So we wouldn't expect that, but we would. Once we understand the nature of what bounce does and how it manipulates the strike vertically, more bounce we have, the lower we hit it in the head. Pretty good. Okay, let's. I'm keen to see this new B grind. All right, Michael, a little partial wedge shot. We're going to hit this one, 50 yards. Oof. Primarily because we know for you this is going down a little bit in bounce to the 8 degree. We don't want you having to lean it a little bit. We want you to use a little bit more of the bounce. So kind of almost, I wouldn't mind if you exposed a little bit more loft just to get the sole working for you a touch.
Yeah. I like the way that toe sits, tons of room.
Spinny one. Do you notice anything with the face on the new one?
No. Should I?
Traditional wedge has approximately 17 grooves.
Okay.
That's about what we would expect. This one has 22. So,
yeah, I mean, you can definitely, obviously it looks more compact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's, other than that, no. I mean, it feels the same. It's great. I mean, I like the look of it. I like the shape of it. It's easier to, I mean, for me to maybe open it a little bit and play around with some loft, but for the loft and for the bounce and grind that I currently play in a wedge, I could easily go into something similar to this.
Yeah. Yeah, really, really nice strike. Just living down in that kind of groove 3, groove 4
Yeah.
territory with this.
I like the way it sits. It has very little offset too, and the hosel looks a little longer, which is I've always liked the look of in a 60. Easy to open it up.
I love the consistency. I think personally, I believe Ping have owned that space of consistency of spin. I think great to see Hydroperl 2.0 still on this wedge. Something that we know in all conditions makes the wedge perform incredibly well.
Yeah.
But like we said, you know, if there's some things taken away in terms of a little bit more perimeter weighting, but obviously we've got some other things added in there. I mean, it's not a traditional blade wedge in a sense. If you just look at the back, we still have our weight port in there.
Yeah.
Right? We still have the ability to manipulate the weight and where the weight is placed. I think that's still a big part of why this wedge feels and performs as well as it does.
Yeah, it looks like a blade, but performs with a bit of help, which is nice.
Definitely does.
No, I'm impressed. I like them.
All right, Michael, thoughts? Overview?
Love them. Very, very impressed. We've had them in the fitting bay now a couple months, and popular for us to go towards for every style of player, which is nice. So again, I can't support more of that tour-inspired shape from them.
Lots of things carried over from the Glide family. And some new things. 6 finishes, or 6 grinds, sorry, 2 finishes, 25 different options. Really designed to cater to any kind of player that we're likely to see in the bay. Obviously, Ping have chosen their own stock shaft for it, the s159 shaft. A wedge-specific grip. You were a fan of this at one point.
I still like it. When we were trying to hit 50-yard shots there, it's nice to have to place your hands because
a little bit longer.
Awful at that. So yeah, it was good.
It reminds me of something I used to do with my old rackets back in the day. Used to badminton rackets used to extend the grip down the shaft for double so you could have a faster racket speed. It just makes so much sense that when you're round the greens, you can get down low and you've got access to making the game easier by making the club shorter. So. True Ping fashion, thinking of literally every single piece of this. But as we always know, everything's customizable. Doesn't have to be the stock shaft, doesn't have to be the stock grip. It can be whatever you want.
100%.
Great stuff. All right, guys, another fantastic addition to the Matrix. We are blessed with so many great options. This is definitely one to try. You see the adoption that the Ping staff players have made instantly, putting it in their bags. Some phenomenal sort of short game exponents there in the Ping staff family.
100%.
Love to see, obviously, Victor Hovland and how much his short game. I think probably a big part of the feedback that they got, having guys like that coming and testing it. So fantastic for the Ping family to have that.
Love it.
Great stuff. All right, guys, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.